elaborate anytime you want to. Well, she was my neighbor. So I didn't know this, and so okay, go.
These evictions were made after the strike in September 1934 because of union activities at Arnold Mill, Sargent, Georgia. C.L. Cooper, Will Gresham, Susie Gresham, J.T. Duncan, Leona Miller, which was our neighbor for over 10 years, Dewey Hopgood,
Knowed her.
Frank Cook, Tom Holloway,
Knowed him.
Johnny Wright, Willie Maud Wright, A.J. Kennedy, Fred Rogers, G.H. Hudson, Mrs. G.H. Hudson, Orrin Hudson, Fenton Tollerson, Doris Howell, C.A. Pierce, C.E. Pierce, Lee White, L.M. White,
Knowed them.
Clinton White,
Knowed him.
Ed Lipham, A.J. Crawley, H.C. Jones,
Knowed him.
Rufus Getty, Frank Hendricks, Barney Johns,
Knowed him.
Yucca Bryant,
Knowed her.
Billy Bryant,
Knowed him.
Mary Murphy,
Knowed her.
Lucille Murphy,
Knowed her.
H.A. Harris, Mattie Harris, Dewey Harris, Charlie Barron, Johnny Bryant, Josie
him.
Bryant,
Knowed them.
Curtis-
Knowed her.
Curtis Eason,
Knowed him.
Lee Eason,
Knowed her.
Russell McMichael,
Knowed
Homer
him.
Allen, Maynard Phillips,
Knowed him.
Dewey Pruitt, J.W. Barron, Mrs. Minnie Barron, Emmett Barron, Rudy Shoemake,
Knowed him.
Georgia
Knowed
Shoemake,
her.
Cleve Bryant,
Knowed him.
Walter Cook, U.B. White, John Crawford, Howard Cochran,
Knowed him.
which is a cousin, Arch Crawford, Gladys Stitcher, Mr. Moss, Brodus Rogers, William Nelson, Patricia Nelson, Olin Hanner, and Mary Hopgood.
Knowed her.
Well, now, did you realize that all these people got evicted?
No, I didn't. Sure didn't. I didn't. They
We live
probably
next
joined
to-
the union, didn't they?
We live next to Miss Leona
They asked
Miller.
me, I
don't
said,
you?
do I have to? He said, no, you don't. I said, no, I don't want to either. I said, the only way I joined is to keep my job.
Now, those Bryants and they called over, they lost their job
They did.
on the county union.
The Bryants.
Well, I know they lost their job, but I didn't know why.
Barney Johns, he lost his job on the county. The reason I know, they come down East Hill.
Well, I know they wasn't working, but honestly, I didn't know they joined the union.
Was there much talk about this when after the strike?
No, it was quiet. So that's the reason I didn't know they belonged to the union. And Miss Miller, boy, I didn't know that. Because she was our next door neighbor.
That's same food for mine.
So how does that look to you as a young person working in the mills now?
It's totally different. I can't see people being evicted from their homes. I can't see, I know that where I work now is not union. And they may even act the same way if the union tried to come in the plant. I don't know that. But I can't see a person being evicted from their home for wanting to be in a union or to have something that would better their jobs. Because several companies around this town has unions. They may not perform that great. They may not be what they should be or stand up for their employees that much. But yet still, I can't see that. This shocks me. I can't see these people ever losing their homes or losing their jobs just because they wanted to be in a union.
Had you ever heard about anything like this?
Never. I mean, I knew that there was a strike back in the 30s. I had always heard about that, but it never dawned on me what these people went through till today. And now that I work in textiles and around the lint heads, as they've been called, it's just a shock to me. The way the mill used to be, when like my mom and dad worked there, and what it is now is totally different. Everything's automated. We have automatic machines that does the job for you. You know, we have black supervisors, which you wouldn't have had years ago. We have, I don't know, we have great benefits where I work. We have a close-knit family where I work. I've been there 16 years now.
Now, did you ever talk to your parents about all of this?
I can remember the one thing that sticks out in my mind is when my mother and dad would always get their money in a little yellow envelope. I can remember that to this day. They would bring home that little yellow envelope and it would have their name at the top. And to think now that it would only maybe consist of $1 or $1.50 for a week's work. You know, it's just, that sticks out in my mind. And I remember they always gave a silver dollar every year to the children at Christmas time. And I would always trade my silver dollars to my uncle for a real dollar. Because I didn't want the silver dollar. But I can remember things like
Now
that.
she wanted to spend it, and he wanted $7.
But I can remember going to the gate to give my daddy his lunch, and I can remember he worked on the second, my mother worked on the first, and even up through the years, as I was 20 years old, my mother was still working there. But I can see a lot of changes. It's just as if she went in that plant now, where she used to work, it would be totally different. There's automatic pillowcase folders, there's automatic sheet cutters, you know, everything's automated, and it would just be totally different for her now.
But there are not nearly as many jobs now.
Well, I would still say, yeah, that we employ just about the same thing, because like in the packing room, it takes 3 people to run one line, and it takes we're a cut and sew and distribution center now, which means more people. Yeah, I would say that it employs more people. And I think the jobs that they have now, they're well satisfied with.
Do you think it's important, and if you do say so, or if you don't say so, and answer so that the audience doesn't have to hear my voice, do you think it's important for young people to know about what happened way back then?
Oh yes, to see the difference, and from the 30s to the 90s.
I think it's important that.
I think it's important that the children know what it used to be like in the 30s and how it's totally changed in the 90s, especially where a union is concerned. That you would be evicted from your home, or you would lose your job just because you were a member of a union, or they thought that you were saying something in reference to a union. I think they should definitely know, because that's what the word freedom means these days to me. I think it's only fair.
How did your mother feel about that?
Same way.
Could you say that?
Yeah. I
Just
feel the same way.
I don't think she would want me to have to go through what they went through.
No, I wouldn't.
And
No.
to think that I'm still in the same industry that they were in. I'm in the same industry now. I'm in the same place that they had worked. But you're talking 60 years difference, and it's a big difference. Everything's changed.
Thank God.
Thank God. That's right.
Okay, we can cut.
If a union,
And anytime, stand by one more second, anytime, rephrase.
Okay.
repeat my question.
I can remember, in maybe 2 times that I've worked there, I can remember where a union, you know how they would come through the parking lot, or maybe go to the end of the driveway just before you were on the Bill property, and they would try to pass out a leaflet. And no, the supervisors, the company, no, they did not want it, and they don't want it now. I know they don't want it. They just don't want it. You can tell that, because they would be furious if there was somebody up there and they wanted them dismissed from the property. And they would pass out their leaflets about joining the union.
And how would they respond to those employees that did take that literature and did read it?
Well, I think the remark was made, if you have anything that you feel about a union, or anything maybe to say, you just don't speak of it, That's not to be, the word union shouldn't be mentioned. It's the way it was put, you just don't mention it. Things are the way they are, and I guess that's the way they'll stay.
So has there been all that much change since the 1930s as far as union is concerned?
I wouldn't think so, not really.
Could you say that?
I don't think there's been that much change. I think really their feelings would probably be the same now. They would not want a union, as most companies do not. They just don't. I don't think that. I think they would feel the same way.
Okay.
And we're just using the mic off the camera.
And if we're ruling, George, and you may look if you want to pull out from them. It's an autopilot. you and Judy gonna be there.
Get out of the shot.
And guys, talk to each other.
Talk to each other.
This is option for Judy. A little to the left.
No flounder. Let me show you. No. What, are you gonna run it with the kids screaming?